You're going to have to do these two things in order to deal with difficult people. These two things will change your life. But I'm going to warn you, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like them. Do you want to know what they are? Okay. So these are the two things that we must do to improve all of our relationships and be able to deal with difficult people. And I'm going to tell you, when you do these two things, people just don't seem difficult anymore. They're just peopling, doing their thing, right? It just changes everything. They just don't trigger you. They don't bother you. It's amazing. This is where freedom is. So here are the two things. You have to stop taking things personally and you have to manage your expectations. Here's the thing. The reason that we find other people difficult is because we take them personally. We take what they say and what they do personally. We make everything about us. So the way they behave, what they say, how they say it, what they do, we just internalize that to be personal. It's to be about us. And I know it feels personal. And the reason it feels personal is because you've been triggered. You've been triggered into your child emotional state. We talked about that in video 2. If you haven't watched it, go back. So when you're triggered into your child emotional state, everything feels personal. If you think about children interpret the world very, very personally. They think everything's about them, and it's not. They make everything about them. I want to tell you, here's the thing, you may not like this. Nothing anyone does is personal. Nothing anyone does. What they say, what they do, even if you're very, very close to them, even when it feels personal. Here's why. What other people do and say, how they show up in the world, is always, without fail, a manifestation of how they feel inside about themselves. Let's just say it's a mean person who's always just being mean, telling people off, telling people what their problem is. So like this mean person is always telling you what you've done wrong. That's going to feel personal, but it isn't. The reason that mean person is behaving like that is because of how they feel inside about themselves. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments below. Now, it doesn't take away the fact that that behavior is just really unpleasant to be around. That's why we need boundaries. Boundaries, that was in video 4. Make sure you watch that. And it doesn't mean that we have to just, peace and love and forgiveness and accept them. It's certainly, I can have like a little bit more empathy for people when I think, and that's honestly how I feel when I see someone who is just particularly difficult and difficult, like unpleasant, mean, rude, angry. I just go straight to like, gosh, I wonder what's going on with them. It must be really unpleasant to be them. Like, gosh, must be an awful experience to be them in the world. Because I don't take it personally, because I know it's not about me. So that's kind of my first thought is like, gosh, I wonder what's going on with you that you have to behave like that. Like it can't be pleasant being in your world. And then I have a boundary because I don't accept what's unacceptable. So this is why we need to have these key skills of emotional sobriety. Now I want to talk about expectations because that is the other thing that's going to have to change. So my difficult family member, one of their traits was indecision. They could not make a decision for love nor money, which is actually a decision in itself. So something simple like, can I take you for lunch? Has multiple decisions. When, what time, where we're going to go, where are we going to park, is there a senior special, where are we going to sit, what are we going to order, right? Just an unbelievable amount of decisions. So they would be indecisive about everything and it would drive me crazy. Their behavior was difficult and it made me crazy. Before I showed up, I would be having an argument in my head with them for about 4 days beforehand. So by the time I showed up, I was already in an agitated state. And then they would do their indecisive thing, which is very difficult to deal with. I would explode and we would just have a really unpleasant experience. So after doing the work of emotional sobriety, after a few months of revealing this to myself, one day this light bulb went on and I just thought, why do I keep expecting them to be different? They've always been like this. They've been like this my whole life. Why would they be different? Why like a miracle has happened. And all of a sudden they behave like a reasonable and rational person. The problem was not them. The problem was my expectations of them. So think about your expectations of the difficult people you have in your life. I'm going to tell you, it's probably one of the problems is you keep expecting them to behave in a rational or reasonable manner, and they're not capable of it. My family member wasn't capable of it. They just weren't able to do that. So I stopped expecting them. So I just would show up, and I knew how it was going to go, and I let them. I just let them do their thing. And I just kind of was very like, I know this is going to happen. I've allowed enough time. I'm just going to let them do their thing. And I felt a lot calmer. Our experience was a lot easier. And you know what happened over time? This indecision, I mean, it's still there, but it's certainly lessened. They haven't done this work on themselves. I have. This is what's extraordinary about this work, is it changes you at such a deep level. So it changes how you respond, how you interact to everybody around you. And that impacts them. We've broken that unhealthy pattern of relating. We're not going into wounded child. When someone keeps experiencing you as a resourceful adult, eventually it changes them. It changes their pattern. So the big thing is about managing your expectations of other people. Are you expecting a difficult person to behave differently? Difficult people in many ways, I think, the reason that people are difficult is they're often emotionally unwell. And emotionally unwell people just don't have the tools and resources to behave better because they're trying to manage their internal emotional state. Now, I'm going to tell you, there's been periods in my life where I've been emotionally unwell. And when I have been emotionally unwell, which is when it was during my drinking career, and I was really disconnected from myself and really lost, my behavior was a manifestation of that. My behavior was just simply a manifestation of how lost and disconnected I felt from myself. So my behavior was emotionally unwell. So I inadvertently did things that were hurtful or thoughtless, or people probably experienced me as being difficult. I'm sure you've had the same experience. Let me know in the comments below, or give me a thumbs up. So what I want you to understand is nobody got out of bed this morning with the intention of upsetting you or ruining your day. Everybody is going about their day according to their own level of emotional wellness. So we can extend grace to people, right? We can, people have trauma and faulty belief systems and experiences that have shaped them that they haven't overcome yet. So stop expecting emotionally unwell people to behave differently from how they do. So managing your expectations will give you a different experience. And it's that alone that will help you be a resourced adult when you deal with all of these difficult people in your life. And then what happens automatically is we can reframe things. We used to see it this way, but we've reframed it and we actually see it this way. And when I see it this way, this is just a healthier way to see what's actually going on. Actually, this is what's going on. The reason they behave like that is because they're really hurt, or they're really upset, or they're really angry. And again, everyone's allowed to have the emotional experience they're having. I just get to choose my response in my boundaries, in my communication, in managing my expectations. And if it's time for you to learn this, then please come and join us in the mastermind. It really is a fabulous group where everybody is working on learning the skills, so learning the theory of the skills and implementing. We have 2 live coaching calls every month. We have a new module that unlocks every single month, a new behavior change that we work on. There's a community. And when you join, it's lifetime membership. There's no limit on the program. So you can enroll and you can stay for as long as you need. All of the details are below.